plans for the?
I want as much power as efficiently as possible.
Everybody says.
So I could say I'm in the 1,000 horsepower club.
Yes.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. Thank you. And nobody can hang with my stuff. Just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last. You know what I'm talking about?
Hello, I'm Jensen. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to Overkill Performance right now. About to go see about getting the drift cat some more power. It's about time. The wait's been long enough, but we're about 10 minutes out, so I'll check in with you. So I'll check in with you guys when I get there. I'm guessing that's where all the Mopars are, huh? I just pulled up Overkill Performance. They got some shit out front. Wide body SS. Trackhawk. Looks like another Trackhawk. The Supra. That shit was badass. Right hand drive. Big old Whipple.
Yeah.
How you doing, bro?
How you doing, brother?
Good.
Jensen?
Yep.
What's going on, brother?
Nice to meet you. That's a nice color too.
Yeah, that's a cool color, man. We have a couple guys.
How much power is that making?
It would probably be somewhere around like 1,000 wheel or something like that.
Really? God damn.
It's like built motor and all that stuff right now, about to do the fuel system and everything else on it. We're trying to get everything together.
They got a new Hellcat Durango. Ooh, with the red guts too. Wow. But this is faster than the Trackhawk is. Crazy. And it has a third row.
Third row with the armrest.
And TVs.
I gotta see the third row. No shit. Bro, this thing's amazing.
Yeah, this car is very nice. Then they got another Hellcat on the dyno up here. So what'd you do all of this?
This one's, I don't even know if I can really tell you what's done to this. So, yeah, go ahead, brother.
It's secret.
Yeah, so I mean,
It looks like upper pulley.
Yeah,
for sure.
This is the one from, like, people have seen the videos online of this one. It's just kind of right now, we went in and did some more stuff. He's getting ready for some future builds and some other things he's going to be doing to it. So
Okay.
we were just here beefing it up, kind of getting it rocking. But a lot of our guys are, you know, they're grudge race guys and stuff like that, so I can't really say exactly what's going to it, but
all the details.
This is
I understand.
This is one of this is definitely probably the fastest stock blower Trackhawk. Well, it's for sure the fastest stock blower Trackhawk in California.
Really?
But it's probably, at least right now, probably one of the faster ones. The current fastest one is in Arizona. but we built that too. So
okay,
it's the same thing. That's
you
Bob
got the
Mars.
record either
Yeah,
way.
he actually has the half-mile world record too. He went about 180 miles an hour in a Trackhawk on his with a passenger on his test hit with a bad rear diff. So he didn't get a chance to put the big tune in there. So he's out there beating
That's
twin
crazy.
turbo Lamborghinis and everything else. So it's pretty cool.
God.
So Bob is definitely the king. He's in Arizona. I mean, that's a world record. So I mean, that's, you know, I know the internet likes to
talk.
That's not debatable. Like world records aren't debatable.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So it's like that's why we don't worry about, oh, who's the fastest in California, like world records. You know, you don't really.
We got
care.
the facts, the
You know,
statistics.
like you can look it up. You know what I'm saying? It's that the fun thing about street racing is it's cool because it's like it's whoever's fastest on that day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, all the conditions, what you got built.
Because you can have a faster vehicle lose to, you know, a slower vehicle because it hooked better, the driver wasn't sleeping, you know, the setup was better, you know, maybe it was just that day the spark plug went out, they blew the tires off, you know, just whatever it was. That's the great thing is it's an equalizer, you know, because sometimes you get to the track and a lot of times it's Moneyball. You know, whoever has the most money wins, you know.
Exactly.
So that's the cool thing about, you know, racing in Mexico, so to speak. When it comes to just numbers and proven facts, I mean, we literally, when it comes to Trackhawk'S especially, we've been doing Hellcats for, I mean, since they came out. Actually, the car up front, Project Perfect, spelled like a cat, which is actually here, which is ironic. That car was the first 1,000 horsepower Challenger on the West Coast, period. And because the owner, we actually built a 1,000 horsepower Evo for him. And so then he went out and he got the Hellcat, and he was like, do your thing, you know. So we got a chance to do that. And then
You said that's here?
Yeah, it's right up front.
Can we take a look at that?
Yeah. So the blower and everything's actually off because everybody's upgrading. But yeah, this was it. So this car was on nitrous for. It made the 1,000 horsepower. It was like 1,100 on our dyno, and our dyno is like a Mustang dyno, so Mustang style dyno, it's all loaded rollers. So that's on our dyno, that's probably like 1,250 on other dynos, you know.
So the Mustang dyno deducts a little bit.
It reads a little bit lower. It's just the way that it operates using the load is going to produce a lower number than say an inertia dyno that uses more math to compute. They all use the math, but inertia dyno is more computer than anything. But yeah, we set this up. He was the first one running nitrous. This was one of Tim Barth's first big nitrous cars over here on the West Coast. And it's ran on the stock block, stock trans and everything at 1,100 horsepower for like 3-4 years. So he's just here getting a blower upgrade. I mean, it's still running. Wow. And that's how it has been with all of our vehicles. We've had a lot of fast stuff, and fortunately they've been reliable, haven't lost anyone, you know, haven't lost any. It's inevitable, you know, that's just racing. Something
it can happen.
Injector will get stuck open, or it doesn't even have to be something you do, you know. Just bad fuel.
Could be mechanical.
Yeah. So I mean, it's inevitable. Fortunately, it hasn't happened yet, but you know, it's one of those things where I don't. The idea that people think that shops or builds or cars or anything mechanical can just be perfect all the time,
it's not possible.
It's not possible. It's just we're just trying to make it last as long as we can. You know, that's the same thing I said about you and your transmission, boy.
Yeah.
That transmission gotta be mad. That transmission gotta be mad.
There's a little bit of slip in there already. I can't lie.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I was watching a couple videos. I was like, oh, that poor transmission.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the leading issue for a lot of these Trackhawk guys, Hellcat guys, is when they do really long burnouts. They'll do the really long burnouts, and then after they do that, then that's when they roast the transmission. It's like, things aren't like they used to be back in the day where you like, every time an engine's broken, it's because you blew a hole in the block. Every time the transmission's broken, you blew a hole in the transmission. Like nowadays, the parts and the internals of most of these vehicles are pretty stout. So when they break or they fail, like the transmissions, usually it's like the clutches burn out. You'll burn out the pumps. And that's probably what's going on with yours.
Is that when people normally drive in automatic mode?
Yeah.
Because I normally drive in manual. I don't know if that would make a difference at all.
So
shifting like by yourself or not?
Yes and no. Like tuning your vehicle actually makes it more reliable because it's going to be more efficient, right?
Okay.
It's going to shift faster. It's going to shift how it's supposed to. Sometimes we'll pull the files off of these stock vehicles, and whatever base file is loaded on there's corrupted, or it's just wrong. You know, there's a lot of guys that are driving around right now with Hellcats, and they're like, it don't shift right, and they just, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's the previous owner. Like, no, from factory, some of these files are just wrong.
Wow.
You know, so we'll go through there and we make sure that they're right. We make sure how they're set up how they're supposed to be, so it'll actually last longer that way. You know, the quicker shifts mean less slippage, you know, things like that. But heat is what kills almost everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's the cool thing of moving over to E85 and stuff like that, is it really cools them down. But when it comes to the Trackhawk'S, that's a big thing. Because I had my Trackhawk, which was Bad Dad. And that was back when the Trackhawk'S first came out, like 18, 19. And I was the first one in the world to run 9s with, you know, the stock wheels, the blower, all that stuff, right? That record still stands to this day. I mean, I had stock wheels, stock brakes, all that stuff, and then I still have the 60-foot record, which is 1.389.
Damn.
5,500-pound SUV.
Damn, that's crazy.
And that's stock 20s. I want to say those tires had like 9K miles, because I daily drove it. We were at the track 3 times a week, right? And
what were they, like R888s or something?
No, they were the Nitto NT05Rs, the 315s.
Okay.
Which is a good street and drag tire. The Mickey Thompsons are a better drag tire, but not as good of a street tire.
Yeah.
And those are what we primarily run on those vehicles. But I mean, I tried to break it, bro. I tried, and I could not break that thing. And we pushed it and pushed it. And the cool thing about it that I'm really proud of is we were able to work with a lot of companies so that all, like, I'd say 90-95% of the parts that are common in especially the Trackhawk community all started off with that truck. You know, because I mean, I would drive it every day and log it. I would put on the dyno. We've gone through different tuners. Tim Barth, I believe that truck still has the Diablo world record. Switched over with Alex Pites on that tune when we ended up breaking the record. And a lot of that data was used. Alex right now, he has a Jeep out in Texas that has the world record right now with like 9.4 something, you know? And so it's cool to have an impact on all that stuff. Because I mean, now all the vehicles are running, you know, the boosted pumps, they're running, you know, the same pulley setup. I mean, they're running, you know, the little bird logos. And so, I mean, it was really cool. We worked with B. Woody for the revision of the suspension system. We worked with FI Interchiller Kirk to bring out the FI Interchiller, which is like blowing up. That was an LS mainly mod, because that's the difference between us and most Mopar shops that are known, is they just work on Mopar.
Okay.
You know, so
yeah, because I see you guys got Evos, you got a little bit of everything.
We got Evos, GTRs, Supras.
Yeah,
know.
I seen that Supra. That shit is badass.
That's a Viper truck. You know, the RT10s. We have a couple of those here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one from Viper motor. Wow. That was kind of cool. It's getting pro charged.
No shit.
Yeah. Everything in here is like some stupid 1,000 horsepower ridiculousness.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, we have experience with a lot of different platforms. So it's just like when it came to making the Mopars fast, we just applied stuff we knew from LS's, you know, because we do a lot of resto mods and stuff, Corvettes and things like that. So we applied all that stuff to the Mopars. And the thing about Mopars is they're heavy. Mopars make great power, but they're heavy.
Very, very heavy.
So the cool thing about the other vehicles, you know, Mustangs and things like that, they're really lightweight.
Yeah.
You know, so working with our different buddies with the Mustangs, you know, we have a lot of friends that are really fast. Rick, we've got Jimmy, Whipple Rob, you know, all those guys, they're running 8s, 7-second cars.
That is fast.
You know, we've had a lot of experience with the Whipple, and that's the next evolution for Mopar. It's going to be that Gen 5 Whipple that's coming out.
Okay.
And the cool thing is because of our experience with Chevy and Ford is, you know, especially when it comes to the Mopar world, we have probably the most experience with that Gen 5 Whipple, because we've been using them for the last 2+ years in other platforms. You know, I have personal vehicles that have it on there, so that's going to change everything. Like that big 4.5 Whipple. So on this Trackhawk, so this is the biggest Whipple that they make. 4.5 liter, This is the Big Daddy. You don't get any bigger than this. But the Gen 5 3.0 might not be as big, but it's more efficient, right?
Okay.
So you're able to make power sooner. You're able to make power, you know, the transient response, all that stuff is great. So it stays cooler longer. It's going to be dope.
Wow.
It's going to be dope. So what's enough about that stuff? Let's talk about Jensen, man. What's the plans for the?
I want as much power as efficiently as possible.
Everybody says that.
You know, because in my world it's
as
a lot different than
as possible.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Because my world is a lot different than drag racing.
Yeah. It's a lot harder on the
I'm a lot more consistent, a lot more laps.
Heat
is a big thing. Yeah.
So I know when you brought that up to me, the biggest thing that has to be addressed with your vehicle is a sustainability. You know, it's one thing for us to claim we got the most, you know, the fastest, the most reliable Mopars and da-da-da, when they're just going in a straight line down the drag strip.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. When you get to really fast drag cars, nothing puts more strain on a vehicle than the fast drag. Like, I'm talking about, I've been on race teams where we're changing clutches out every other pass. There's certain levels of drag racing where they're changing clutch packs every race. Like literally, like some of these alcohol, these blown cars, is when the clutches grab the clutch packs, they fuse together. Like every time a gear grabs, it fuses together, and that's how it locks in place. And every single race, they change the clutch packs. Right? You got race series where people are changing motors out, like, and that's normal. Right? They're changing transmissions out, so they'll take the transmission out, put a new transmission in, and run that run while the crew is rebuilding that one. So when they come back, then they swap. Like, that's a thing, right?
That's
but
crazy.
When it comes to drifting, like the sustainable power band, the cool thing is you don't need as much power, right?
Yeah.
But you are drifting a boat, right? So I mean, that's the most impressive part of what you're doing is, you no doubt probably have the heaviest vehicle that's out there at any given time.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
And you know, you could drive it. You know, you drove it here. You know, it's that's not a thing. People have specific drift cars that are, you know, clapped out Nissans.
That's one of the many reasons why I love
Yeah.
that car is I could daily drive it. I could drive it right to the track, drive it home, go to LA. Like, so that's one of the things that I want to keep. To be able to do is just daily drive, all that type of stuff.
So the reliability of it. So what I was thinking more for your power band, we could actually look at this. So this one is a OP850, which is going to be a 2.68, 2.7 upper setup, which is equivalent to running like a 2.85 upper and a 10% lower. A lot of people note that we don't do lower pulleys much anymore. The main reason for that is we were running the lower pulleys. You know, we were first ones that had ATI send us a unit. So I mean, we have an account with them. So we love the lower pulleys, but we just got to a cost point where RPM's RPM, right? A lot of people assume, oh, you got a really small pulley up here, you're gonna mess up your blower. Like, that's not how RPM works, you know. And we know that from experience in like working with Cobras and Lightnings and stuff like that, and supercharger systems, the GT500s and all that. It doesn't matter. Like, if you have a really small upper pulley and a stock lower pulley, is no different than having a larger lower pulley, right? And you know, slightly larger upper pulley. The issue is always your ability for belt slip, right? So if we have an issue with belt slip, then you want to have the biggest pulleys possible because you have the most belt wrap. Right? So this one doesn't have it, but a lot of the other vehicles have it, where you'll see they'll have like a belt tensioner kind of system right here that'll
sits up super high.
This one has like a JLT. This is more of a street setup. For yours, I'd probably go with a Mighty Mouse or like a UPR. We use UPR a lot, like you saw in the other vehicle. A booster pump system, E85. The OP850 is exactly what it is. It makes 850 to the wheels. Most of our guys with the OP850 packages, when it comes to drag racing at least, are running like 9.7s. You know, it's a lot of power, right? We've got like our OP900 and our OP950. You know, those guys right now are running 9.4s, 9.2s. this is the fastest package that's available that you can get, right? Same thing with like our Trackhawk'S, our OP900s, OP950s. Those are 9-second guaranteed OP950 packages.
Wow.
And we've done a lot of the data, and we don't, like, there's probably a lot of people who haven't even heard of Overkill just because if I'm not here or with my family, I'm at the track. I don't do social media much. I don't have time for that. And plus, we're in a small market. This is NorCal, right? You know, you got SoCal. There's 20 million people down there. There's only 2 to 5 million people up here, right? Yeah. So it's like, you know, if we were in SoCal, I mean, you know, which we do have we have some shop stuff opening up down for some of our SoCal guys, some of our other brands. So we do work on like the exotics and things like that as well. But it's simply based off the fact of we've put in the work, so we know what the stuff can do. So it's like when I say like the OP850, that's because it makes 850, and so you're talking about 840 to 860 horsepower is what you should expect. You know, we won't go, oh, that's 1,000 wheels, so this is our 1,000 horsepower package. Nobody cares what you make to the crane. It doesn't even matter.
You want that wheel horsepower.
It's the wheel horsepower. And then it's just the times. Like, we've consistently ran the times. We have Alan that's standing back over here. Say hi, Alan.
How you doing, man?
So Alan and his wife have one of our OP500, OP525 scat packs. Right, and we're talking about a full street car, stock seats and everything in it. Our basic bolt-on package with the scat packs, you know, little shorty headers, not no long tubes, no cams, no head work, none of that stuff. Smog legal car, right? Yeah. And his wife is able to pilot that thing to what, 11.3s?
11.3s consistently.
Yeah, consistently.
Wow.
We're talking about. I mean, there's people with gutted cammed heads and everything running 11.3 to 11.5.
It's the number 10 spot in the nation by 0.09 of a second.
And that car is gutted, race car, built motor, everything else. So it's like, and that's what I'm saying when it comes to numbers, we're not trying to be the fastest out west. You know, we go for the world records, because if you're going to be the best, where you are locally doesn't really matter, especially when you're in a small market.
Very true.
There's a lot of people who brag, oh yeah, I'm the fastest in my zip code. Like, bro,
you got a small zip code.
You know, like, bro, I'm like, dude, like, that's like a few blocks. You know, it's like, I'm the fastest in my area code. I mean, even so, that's small. You know, it's like, if you want to push your clients to be the best, you want to be the best. You're not always going to be the best. There's always going to be faster people to learn from, and that's the other thing is we're humble. You know, when we see better ideas, we see new things. It's cool. You know, it's just like the Trackhawk world. Everything you see is based off of the stuff we've done. The inner chillers and the spacers and the lids, and we did all that stuff first. Documented first. Call the companies. Call inner chiller. Call FAS. Call Barth. Call, you know, Pies. Call Z. I mean, this is confirmable stuff, right?
You hear that, Soldier Boy? You weren't the first.
Actually, you know what? I forgot. Does Soldier Boy have a Trackhawk? Hopefully, he shows.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
Cool, because you know, I'm surprised he wasn't the first with that one. But all we really want to do is push, and that's why the challenge of making your car efficient. That's dope. You know, because it's not about just being the coolest drifter in NorCal. It's about being the best, period. You know, on that platform or whatever it is. It's pushing it to see what it can do. So I mean, I'm about the journey. I think we'll be able to come up with some dope stuff. There's a few areas that I definitely think we got to address just for the reliability. Making the power is going to be easy. That making the power is simple. That's the most basic way to do it. Is going to be like the 850. Once you move into the 900 and the 950, which when they bring the other track, the Hellcat, or we can actually go to the second shop. The other Hellcat over, you'll see that then you're dealing with ported blowers or like double pumper systems, you know, that the standard kit has, which are all good, but not necessary, because you can also have too much power when you drift.
Yeah, very true.
So, you know, you can get to a point where it's just unmanageable. You know, you can't
move anywhere.
Yeah, you just every time you touch the pedal, you're like, all right, come on, this is it. You know, so I mean at the end of the day, you're gonna be the master of that, knowing whether or not it's gonna be. I mean, you've been drifting now. What is it? What's done to it?
Right now, I got a leg maker intake,
Okay.
suspension, which is just H&R lowering springs, and then suspension arms, adjustable upper control arms, and then
Power wise.
nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Man. I mean, you gotta understand 707s on the badge, but those on our dyno they make 610 stock.
Okay, to
right?
the wheels.
610 to the wheels. So when we're talking about 850,
That's gonna be a big.
you know
difference.
what I'm saying? We're talking about 240 more horsepower than you make stock. Right?
That's gonna be a big
You know,
difference.
so I mean, that's a huge difference, right? That's a completely different vehicle.
Yeah, most
right. You're
definitely.
going from a 11-second Hellcat to a 9-second Hellcat.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest thing we got to worry about is what's that going to do to everything else, right? Because the trans ain't going to like it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
the
used
brakes
to-
aren't going to like it. You know,
it's used to the
nothing
600.
is exactly.
Yeah.
But you know, those that drift understand that when you have more power, you also have to do less input. That's the cool thing is your reaction to everything, because you don't have to floor it.
Yeah,
You can just
exactly.
kind of blip that throttle and just be. You can be quarter throttle and you just have a smoke show.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the thing that you have more power when you have to do corrections and do anything extra that you might need to do. So I mean that's going to be the learning curve on your end is, you know, what do you do with another 200 plus horsepower to the wheels, you know?
Go through a lot more tires.
Yeah. At that point you're going to be over 1,000 crank. You know?
Okay.
So
I could say I'm in the 1,000 horsepower club.
Yes.
Okay.
Trust me, everybody else does. I won't say it.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
I won't say it. I'll say it makes 850 to 870 horsepower. Everybody else is gonna all make 1,000. Like literally, clickbait on the internet. Everybody makes 1,000 horsepower. Look at their dynos. They don't make 1,000 horsepower.
Oh, is this the dyno sheet to this one?
That's one of the screws to this one. Actually, that vehicle that was a scat pack.
Oh, okay.
So that was a scat pack we did. That was a basic OP 500 package. I think they make a 485. 487. Yeah, 47,
Okay.
570 foot-pounds of torque.
All right, about to hop in the Hellcat Durango, go to the second shop. Never been in one of these. I've seen the homie Dex's in person, but still haven't been in one of.
Yeah, so we've got this is my cousin Torian. We've got a lot of beast builds with him. We've got his build is, you know, he's based. I'm building his other. He has a Trackhawk. I mean, he has everything. His Trackhawk is pretty much going to be a big boy build. One of the things we didn't see over there is we're doing a twin turbo Trackhawk. The big motor for it's in the shop.
shit,
I mean,
okay.
it's all billet. It's one of the biggest motors, if not the biggest motor that's ever been put in a Mopar period, a modern Mopar that we're going to be trying out. So, but yeah, the Hellcat Durango. So the Hellcat, so the TRX, right? I think the thing about the TRX that a lot of people didn't like is they were expecting a Trackhawk power in a truck.
Yeah, it's way too heavy.
It's too heavy. People
Way
didn't
too
realize
heavy.
it's 1,000 horse. It's 1,000, 2,000 pounds heavier than a Trackhawk. Yeah, I mean the cool thing about the Durango, a lot of people expected, you know, with the TRX for it to be fast, but it's 2,000 pounds faster than a Trackhawk. I mean, 2,000 pounds heavier than a Trackhawk, and people were expecting, you know, Trackhawk power, Trackhawk speed with the bed, and they didn't get that.
Yeah.
And so I was disappointed. You know, we've done a couple really fast, what would you call it, fast TRXs, but they're like finally where they should have been from factory, right? And so
Okay.
that's the obnoxious part about that, is it's still not as fast as we wanted it to be. The Hellcat Durango is literally a big Trackhawk. That's literally what it is. And that's actually one of our clients right there that just passed by. He's got the world record for a flex.
That shit moves.
This is shop 2.
How you doing, man?
I mean, it's more the same. This actually, this used to get driven. This is the turbo 350. the stock blower and everything else. So
that looks hella good. I can't.
So now this one is the OP 950 package. So this is gonna have the smaller pulley. This is the tensioner I was telling you with the belt wrap style. Everything's ported, upgraded. You know, this is a setup that we started using, and you'll see this setup on everybody. You know, whether it's a fast or Joker ported blower. We've used SDG as well, but mostly fast ported blower. With the spacers from Inner Chiller, with the Inner Chiller system on the vehicle. We use B Woody, JLT. Of course, some guys have leg maker. Your intake isn't gonna really change. That's what people don't understand is JLT, B Woody, leg maker, they all make the same amount of power, they just sound different. Right?
Okay.
AWE has an intake that makes less power, that little tiny one with the cover that I don't like.
Oh, yeah.
But then they have one of the better intakes, which is the one that pretty much is like a copy of the Red Eye Demon one, where it's like the little thing and has like, it goes to the port.
Okay.
That's a really good intake. But yeah, so I mean, that's this setup.
What does this run in the quarter mile?
So this one previously was running consistent back-to-back 9.4s.
Wow.
9.4s, and we're talking 9.4s with no bead locks.
Full
You look at the
interior.
wheels, there's no bead locks. That's 9.4s with no bead locks, daily driven, full interior.
And they're not skinnies up front either.
Yeah, and on top of that, stock blower. He was running with stock cats. He was doing, I mean, no headers. I mean, I don't really know what to tell you. Like, he's not the only one. Like, we have several cars that do that. Like, we'll see cars and they've got ported blowers, they got headers, skinnies, they're gutted,
super built,
bead locks on 15s, all that, and they're running 9.6s, 9.7s, 9.5s, 9.8s. Like, we have several OP 900 package cars that are running that. We've got guys that have the Red Eye guys. John, for instance, is running our Stock Plus pulley, which is a pulley that looks like the bone stock pulley, slightly bigger. On E85, on his Red Eye, he's running 9.5s. He's putting down 1.36. Like, I mean, it's
crazy.
I don't like talking about the stuff that we do because I don't like being flashy about stuff.
But you guys have the proven facts.
Anytime you talk about success. See, and it even sounds cocky saying that it breeds like a jealousy, but it's weird what it does. Like, like any shop that does great, that's dope because that gives me motivation to do better. You know, hopefully that gives my clients motivation to want us to push them even further. But sometimes you get it'll be like the clients that like if their shop's not on top, then they got to down talk another shop. Like, why can't they just like everybody?
Yeah, it's like motivation versus competitive.
Like, it's not that serious. Most of the owners, not all of them, yes, y'all know. Most of the owners, we chill. Like, I know me, I'm chill with all of them.
Yeah,
at least from my end.
You seem like a cool dude.
If you heard anything different from their side, I don't know about it. But from my end, we're cool. And when you talk about the stuff that you've done, people take it as like bragging and like
you would rather prove than talk about it.
But then here's the problem with that. Then social media, just because somebody might be on social media every day posting and talking and their customers talk, you think so-and-so's the fast. They're not, right? Because the chances are the fastest person is too busy being the fastest. Right?
Very true.
Or if you're not the fastest yet, because I'm not saying we're the fastest at everything by any means. There's great shops everywhere. There's people that blow our doors off in some areas. But the concept is we're at the track when we're not at the shop, when we're not with our families, right? We're not on social media talking about what we got doing or this or that or bragging about the package. So 99% of our clients are word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? You heard about us through your friends. And that's the thing is everybody that comes to us come back. You know, you can go through a list of our clients and you'll see clients from a bunch of different shops. I've never seen one of our clients at another shop.
Go to a different place.
Not saying that it'll never happen because people move, but I mean, it's because people find when they do finally hear about us, like, okay, like these dudes are trying to push, and that's all we want to do. Well, I believe in efficiency.
Hopefully, I can give you guys a little bit of boost on the social media side. You know,
that's what's up, man.
Bring a lot more clients your way because the work you guys do is definitely quality. Like you guys take pride in what you do. So
this is another one of our 9-second Trackhawk'S.
That's beautiful.
OP 950 package. You know, it's crazy because we've made a really high expectation for our clients. They come to us, and when they come to us, they expect to be the fastest, and I'm okay with that. That's usually a tall order, but you know, you've been in you just ran through the shop. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's definitely
5.
the most Trackhawks here I've ever seen.
There's 10 to 12 Trackhawks here now.
Yeah.
And that one's from Florida. We have, you know, Oakland. Like, these dudes are from all over Texas, New York. We have one from Canada. Like, we have stuff from all over the
everywhere.
place. So when people recognize that you know what you're doing, then that's what's important to us, right?
Yeah.
And that's on all the platforms. Yeah, we're getting really big in the Mopar platform, but we do Mustangs. We do, you know, the drift cars, the 350Zs and Nissans. We started off with the Evos, the GTRs. We've got, you know, big Alpha 22, Alpha 18 GTRs.
Dang.
You know, you see, like, that's like the third Viper truck.
Okay.
Like, there's like 4 of them here, right? A lot of people will never see a Viper truck. There's a lot of young dudes that don't even know there's a Dodge Ram with the Viper.
And that's the
engine
4-door too. That's
the
even
4-door.
rare.
The other one was the 2-door. That's a silver one. Like,
Wow.
we like dealing with anything that's fast, right? We've got, you know, whether it's the Ford, the EcoBoost. That's Adam. Wave Adam. He's the dad. He's the dad.
What's up, man?
King. His Ford Flex runs mid-11s, right? Yeah, around there. Yeah. So I mean,
That's crazy.
that's a Ford Flex, bro. Like, I want you to think about this. If you have a Trackhawk, if you have a Hellcat Durango, if you have a stock Hellcat, if you have almost anything that's stock, and he rolls up on you in his Flex, which is like a wagon.
He's gonna flex
It's
on
a
you.
gorgeous car. It's blue. It looks really good. But he's gonna flex on you. Like, imagine that. You got your
Ford
boys.
flex.
You out in your Corvette. You having a good day. You know, it's Friday.
And then someone
this
just ruins your day.
This Flex is like riding next to you, and he won't let you pass, and you step on it, and he leaves you. Think about that. So we actually have
I
the
would be hurt.
fastest Ford Flex, the fastest Explorer, similar motor. So it's hot out here.
Yeah, it
It's that's the EcoBoost motor. That's what we're trying to do, man. Like, it's
That's
if you're not, you know,
crazy.
Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last. Right?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're gonna do with Jensen. He's
Gotta-
gonna be the baddest man in the land, one way or another. Yeah.
He's gonna make sure I'm pissing excellence by the time I leave here for sure.
So I mean, it kind of is what it is. But yeah, so I mean, this is shop 2. We actually do vinyl. You can see, like, by this vehicle, some of the other ones you see, we do vinyl wrap and tint.
Okay.
We actually ended up moving a bunch of our cars, so this turned into like storage for now. These things, they're pretty quick for what they are. Considering you can put like a family of 7 in this thing.
For real.
You know, it's not too bad.
Yeah, this thing is
But
dope.
yeah, I mean, it's like whether it's Camaros and this thing sounds mean. That Camaro's all cammed and built up and
Really?
yeah. So I mean, the cool thing is I enjoy the job just because of the clients that we get to interact with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have an engineering background, so as far as making an income, you can make an income doing a million different things. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's fun when it goes to the racing world because, like, we have a passion for this, right?
Yeah.
You know, other than buying a house, which a lot of people aren't buying houses no more, your car is your biggest investment, right?
For sure.
Like, we judge people off of the cars they drive, right? You know,
Yeah.
not that it's a great thing, but, you know, you look at a car, you're like, oh, this person's like that, or this person's like that. And it's funny because you can meet somebody that looks completely different, right? And judge them by how they look. But then you could see what car they drive and judge them by what kind of car they drive. And you'll be closer to the type of person they are, judging them by the car they drive than how they look, right?
True.
You know, I've had clients that'll show up here and they'll be what you consider like just straight nerdy type or like an older dad, like some 50, 60-year-old dude. And they'll show up with like a, you know, some built like Corvette or some built like Hellcat sitting on like 22s and airbagged out. And you'll start talking to them and their personality is the personality of the car. Like those the type of person that would have that style, that design, that level.
Okay.
Like that's who they are.
It's all
And
personalized.
that's how we
Yeah.
express ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, you express yourself through your various vehicles, you know, and that's the thing is people who have multiple vehicles, some vehicles are different.
Most
right?
definitely.
So you could tell, you know, just like, don't you have like what is like a Cutlass or something like that, right?
84 Cutlass.
Yeah, so it's like that's one part of your personality, and then your Hellcat's like that other part of your personality.
Exactly,
you know what I'm saying? So it's that's what I love about cars is, you know, it brings random people that we would never meet each other. You know, it's just you can work it anywhere else, and just you have your little group of people that come to work, and that's it. But this allows me to meet people from all over the world. You know, I've traveled. I worked on, you know, a bunch of different TV shows doing consulting. I have NDAs, so I can't tell you what shows, but the shows you've seen on TV have guys that come out and actually help with those builds, and then the TV show makes it look like they put it together. Well, you know, yeah,
makes sense.
Anyways, but the cool thing is that's, man, I've met a lot of these TV personalities, and they're all great dudes. You know, the Street Outlaw guys, the different Discovery Channel guys, and you know, the different people that we get to build relationships at SEMA, and just to have their phone numbers, and you can just call them.
Just say what's up.
They're normal people, you know, and that's kind of cool, you know. But that's what I'm down with, man.
Hell yeah.
That's what's up. We gonna kill the game with it.
Most definitely.
And I'm just excited to see what we do with it, because that's something that definitely I haven't done. I don't think anybody could say that they've done that. Is, you know, besides Soulja Boy and y'all are probably the only two Hellcat drift people. So
yeah, because no one has built a real drift Hellcat yet.
Yeah,
it's all been drag strip or like mile racing, something like that. There's no drift cars. So
and the funny thing is like I have a few clients, like I said, with the Trackhawk'S and some of these Demons and Red Eyes that do half mile. Right, you know, I got a couple clients who are chasing 200 miles an hour, you know, in their Hellcats or Red Eyes actually, and that's cool. That's a fun, like these vehicles are way too heavy. They're not aerodynamic, and these dudes are out there like killing themselves trying to run these times at these Lamborghinis,
going 200 miles an hour in a brick, and
they don't realize most of that is well, they do realize, but a lot of that is aerodynamics, right? A lot of that is weight. So you're coming out there with these cars weigh, you know, like the 720. Like we have a couple 720s that we have we've taken out there. Our GTRs, we've had 2 GTRs that have done 200 miles an hour. I mean, these vehicles, other than the GTR, which is kind of heavy for what it is, I mean, the McLaren is, I want to say 2,900 pounds to the 720s.
Wow,
like 3,000 pounds, you know, and they're at about 1,000 horsepower. You know what I'm saying? In a 3,000 pound car. So you're trying to compete with that in a 4,600, 4,500 pound Hellcat, you know, and that's shaped like a brick.
Yeah, hoping you catch traction.
It sucks, you know. And then that's the thing, traction. So you got the GTRs and the Lambos and all that. Those guys all have traction, you know. So it's.
But that's one thing you don't have to worry about with my car is traction, because we don't want any traction.
Yes, that's perfect.
That's the point.
That's the best part about it, man. But yeah, dude, I'm ready to rock and roll. We can definitely sit down, kind of figure out what some ideas, you know, go back and forth and kind of see what we want to do. I think the biggest thing is, you know, the reason that we're fast and we're good at what we do is every build, you look at it like the entire thing. You know, it's like too often I see customers will come here from other shops and they've got all this horsepower, no suspension for it, right? Or they'll have horsepower and suspension but no safety gear for it. Or they'll have like all this crazy stuff and they can't stop. Or they'll have like a bunch of power and like a stock clutch. I'm like, who built this? Like, who built this for you? Like, you can't even enjoy the car because nothing around it works with it, right?
Yeah, it's all got to work together.
It's all got to work together. It's like I can give you all the power in the world and you go out there and just burn down your transmission. I can give you, you know, the best transmission, all the power in the world, and you go out there and you lose all your power because your blower's overheating, right? And so there's a lot of aspects of things that we definitely got to address to make sure that it's going to be reliable at that power level. But hey, I like a challenge.
Me too. I'm excited. So Hello, I'm Jensen times overkill performance. About to go crazy. 1,000 horsepower. Really 850 to the wheels, but a lot of power coming soon. Stay tuned. For sure. Thank you, sir.
Test out before you head out. I want to make sure.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you guys. Be in touch, most definitely. For sure, for sure. Gonna get that power added ASAP. All right, guys, have a good one.
See ya.
Leaving Overkill Performance right now. Stay tuned for what we got coming for the Drift Cat. A bunch of power. There's gonna be a comma in the horsepower, so stay tuned to that. If you guys know what I'm saying, but that's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell, thumbs up, all that stuff. Like I said, I'm on the road to 100,000 subscribers, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys. Make sure you check out the links down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Doses.